Hey, we are here with the monster, Kongo Kong. He is a huge guest, the JCW champion. Kongo Kong, how are you doing tonight?
Man, I can't complain. If I was doing any better, it would probably be bad.
Kongo Kong, as our guests undoubtedly know, you are a monster of a man. You are nearly 7 feet tall, just under 400 pounds. How are you living, Kongo Kong?
Man, I'm enjoying life. I'm living out my dream is what I'm doing. And like I said, it's every day is a blessing to be above ground and to get to do things like I'm doing them. It's nothing but icing on the cake.
Absolutely. Now, Kongo Kong, we are huge fans of your work here at the Ring Ratz. We first became aware of you in Juggalo Championship Wrestling, where you really took on the Kongo Kong persona. But as a lot of our listeners don't know, you were wrestling for quite a while before that. So let us know what was going on before that.
I was Osiris for many years. Well, actually still am. Just certain places, I guess. Still book me, without the paint and without the crazy gimmick.
Absolutely. So what are some, you have any stories of coming up as a young Osiris on the indie scene? Any like ridiculous sort of like this is independent wrestling kind of situations?
Ooh, I don't know, man. That was so long ago.
Well, I have to say, I have one for you. I heard a promoter tried to fake a heart attack to try to get out of fucking paying you. I take that as a yes.
It was a seizure, and I don't know. If you fake a seizure for 10 to 12 minutes, that's pretty good faking. But but I will take credit for causing him to go into said seizure because we were, I'd say, 2 matches into the show, and the guy that he was supposedly partnering with came up to me and he's like, "Hey, we're just going to shut down the show because he doesn't have your money."
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And he said it again, and I was like, "Well, go get him so we can get this squared away." And so I found him. He was outside in his car flipping out because, he realized it was crunch time now. And I told him, I said, "Listen," I said, "I don't care if you have to borrow from your grandmother or whatever it is that you have to do. If you have to run down to the plasma station and I'll call you."
Start donating, motherfucker.
That me and everyone who came with me that you booked gets paid today. And so then I walked away from him with the partner guy. The partner guy actually paid most of his debt that day. And so then when I came back, the dude was on the floor and like everybody was surrounding him. And I kind of walked up and I looked and I stood there because I wanted to make sure, you know what I mean?
You got to see if it's a legit seizure.
Yeah. Is he biting his tongue or what?
But yeah, the ambulance came and took him to the hospital and everything like that. So it was a legit seizure. But like I said, I like to take credit for it because
add it to the
caused
resume.
A seizure. Now, did they do the whole deal where they put the wallet in his mouth and all that kind of shit?
No. Somebody yelled though, "Put a spoon in his mouth! Put a spoon in his mouth!" And
that is the most outdated piece of advice in the world, by the way.
By the way, Kongo, did anybody actually get paid that night? Did you ever find, what happened?
I don't know if everybody else got paid, but I made sure my guys got something.
Good
like
job.
that.
Respectable. I like it.
So Carl Kong, I'm sorry, I have a friend with a very similar name. Kongo Kong, as we mentioned before, you've been wrestling as Osiris. You've been wrestling for quite a long time. You've really blown up recently with JCW. You've been their heavyweight champion. I believe you still are. You wrestled at Bloody Mania this year. I believe you were in a 3-way with Jeff Hardy. You've been all over IWA, Mid-South. You've been in tons of places all over. I mean, what's been going on lately?
Man, breaking backs and taking titles, apparently.
Fuck yeah.
Just had a match with Cody Deaner at Crossfire Wrestling.
That's in Canada, right?
For the Crossfire Championship, and got that one, added that one to my collection. That was number 7.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I probably would never have thought that many companies would have that much faith in me, and I think it's awesome. I think it's crazy, and some of the boys like to tease me and call me a mark because every championship I win, I take a picture with the belt. And
hell yeah, as you should.
It's not about being a mark, I guess, as much as the whole reason I got into wrestling, whether it's competitive or otherwise. I mean, it's still, even though it has the entertainment value, it's still competitive because you want to be known as the top guy everywhere you go. So you still want to be the best and prove that you're the best. And for that many companies to have that much faith in me, I mean, that kind of strokes my ego enough.
Well, Kongo Kong, you are the fucking man, and promoters around the country agree with the Ring Ratz that you were the fucking man. That's why they keep putting their belts on you. We mentioned JCW, we mentioned Gathering of the Juggalos. This shit fucking fascinates me. I am a huge fan of JCW. I think they run actually a great promotion. I don't think they get nearly enough credit. So how is the Gathering? How is being there for that whole experience? It's a fucking crazy mess from what I gather. I want to know crazy Gathering stories.
Yeah.
Well, it's not unconventional or unconventional. I'm making up words.
It's fine. We do it.
We got you.
To walk around the Gathering and see somebody completely butt naked. Sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're not.
Most likely not.
I've seen a lot of pictures, and they're hot in their own way.
Yeah, if you squint your eyes and turn your head and drink a lot of beer.
There's not just one standard of beauty, Kongo Kong. But I'm with you.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, it's I've had nothing but good times. And it's just, I don't know, if you ever get a chance, my advice is to go experience it for yourself.
Oh, I'm with you. It is on our list of places to go.
JCW, does that run 12 months a year? Is it
Yeah,
always
they run
going?
all the time, don't they?
Okay. And it always climaxes at the
That's their WrestleMania, their
Okay,
Starrcade,
And what time of year is that? Just so people know.
Summertime, right, Kongo?
Yeah, summertime. Usually
July?
July, yeah, early August, somewhere in there.
I like that. Fucking dead ass heat, tons
it's
of drugs.
fucking great.
Everyone's hair is a different color than what they were born with.
Fago and shit.
Fucking wrestlers, Fago. It sounds actually like a fucking great
There's an
time.
island on the Gathering of the Juggalos called Drugs Island. If you want to get some drugs, you take a rowboat, you go out to Drugs Island, and you get your drugs, and you come back.
I'll drown people just to get there.
Damn, you would be working there. Kongo Kong, last week we had the toughest broad in the business, Randi West, on the show. I know she's been a handler. She's worked with you a little bit. What are your thoughts on Randi West?
I love that chick.
Me too.
Me too. She's awesome.
Yeah.
She is...
good chick. She is the voice of reason for a lot of people, believe it or not. Even her own boyfriend. God, I can't think of his gimmick name. I want to say his real name, but I don't want to do that. Schwartz, Joseph Schwartz.
All right.
Sometimes he ends up being Joseph Schwartz. You know what I mean?
That.
She knows how to reel him in like no other. To talk sense.
Time to go home. Time to put it down.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, Randi West is the shit. I've seen a couple things of you two together, and you guys are the shit together.
She's so reasonable.
Oh yeah.
Really, she's a death match. That's what I couldn't believe when we were talking to her. She's just so level-headed and sweet, and she's like just a great person. And then she's like, yeah, when I was getting smashed down in a shopping cart, and I'm like, this doesn't add up. Like the voice with the action, it doesn't make sense. This person sounds so reasonable.
Right.
Good people.
She is the shit. Speaking of good people, I saw on your, I think it was on your Twitter page in the last couple days, one of my favorite wrestlers on the indie scene, besides, of course, Kongo Kong, who is clearly one of my favorites, Sami Callihan mentioned on Twitter that you were the one wrestler he wants to face. How would that match look like? Is that something that we can expect in the near future from Kongo Kong?
I would imagine so. We both work for AAW, based out of Chicago, Illinois, and I guess eventually they're gonna have to put me in that spot. Things are going so well there that they're gonna have to give me that opportunity. And he's the man. He's the guy to beat there. So he might get his wish, but I mean, the question is that really what you want?
Yeah, Kongo Kong. I believe you're gonna fuck him up. I think what you should do is bring Randi West and then have her hit him with a fistful of thumbtacks right in the goddamn mouth.
He deserves it.
That'd be awesome. I kind of wish I did have one manager that I could just take everywhere. But unfortunately, I got like 38. And, how indie wrestling goes. It's like you never see a good referee at multiple good promotions, because they're considered the dime a dozen and they're not as appreciated as they should.
Well, speaking of managers, his name's right on the tip of my tongue. You've been working with the guy from Border City Wrestling, who's fucking huge. He brings all the Canadian guys in. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Wait, what?
Scott D'Amore.
Scott D'Amore. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a great fucking manager. He's fantastic.
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. Definitely one of my easier ones to work with, and he's really, really good guy, and he really looks out for me. Like, I believe Global Force has come to fruition because of Scott D'Amore.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned Global Force. You've been wrestling with them for a little while. They're the promotion that debuted a big fanfare. You have any updates? Like, what's going on? Is Jeff Jarrett going to make it happen in 2017? Get the TV deal and all that shit?
What I was told was to stay tuned. So I'm just sitting here and got my hands underneath my butt,
keeping them warm.
Yeah, I know Jeff always has a trick up his sleeve, and so he did what he did with TNA, and they're still around today, and so I'm waiting to see. I mean, I'm getting older by the minute, but that's okay.
Yo, you still look good.
Kongo Kong, you're 400 fucking pounds. Doesn't matter how old you are. Everyone's terrified of you. Now, a lot of people are treating you well. Some people have not treated you well. And I heard you have a fuck list. People you hate. Who are some people on this list?
Yeah, we want to know, Kong.
Come on.
That's awesome. Well, some of them I've been able to bury the hatchet with, and not have them be so high on the fuck list. But
they're still on there, right? You don't trust them.
Yeah, well, maybe out of the top 5. If you're not in the top 5, then it's not so bad. But,
well, what's the top 5?
Yeah, come on. Give us at least like 3 of the top 5.
Let's go with Al Snow, first of all.
Oh, I'm with you.
Every time I've met him, or every time I've run into him, he's been like the absolute biggest piece of shit for no reason to me.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Right, yeah, fuck Al Snow.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
What you ever done for me, Al Snow? Nothing.
Yeah, the Ring Ratz back Kongo Kong's downplay of this motherfucker. Fuck him. We don't need his bullshit.
I don't even think he's not even worth us talking about. Who's number 2 on the
who's
list?
number 2? Enough of that asshole.
Who's number 2?
Yeah, please.
Brutus Beefcake.
Oh, I am with you.
Andy's spoken about this before.
Piece of crap. Like,
We talk about on the show all the time.
So why do you think, Kongo Kong, he's a piece of crap?
He's just, I don't know. It's like, from what I saw on TV as a kid, him being one of my main heroes, to what I met as an adult, I was like, what the fuck?
He is such a piece of shit. Did you hear about the time when he was working as a toll booth operator in Boston? They shut down the whole toll booth because of an anthrax scare. It was really Brutus the Barber Beefcake's cocaine. Did you hear about that, Kongo Kong?
That was actually right around the time I met him. We had driven out to Hyannis, Massachusetts.
Oh, shit, up in the Cape.
And he was booked on the show, and it was him and Honky Tonk Man. And I'm just thinking, wow, this is absolutely crazy. Like, the Honky Tonk Man was like the biggest asshole on TV, but the nicest guy in person.
I've heard good things about Honky.
Huh?
I've heard good things about Honky Tonk.
Man, every time I see him, hey, bigot. And I'm like, the greatest intercontinental champion of all time recognizes me. He might not know my name, but he knows who the hell I am.
Fuck yeah.
That's cool.
And then,
that's all that matters.
And then Beefcake's just a piece of shit.
Yeah, just a piece of shit. Yeah.
So, who's rounding out the list?
Let's see. There's several.
So many
contenders.
contenders.
There's like I said, there's some people that, they were on there for a nice long time, and then maybe things have happened that have changed my opinion slightly so that they're not so high on the fuck list. But I mean, they're still there. I'm trying to decide. There's a couple that are floating around in my mind.
Drop any of them. They're all equal opportunity, to be hated upon.
Well, okay, fuck it. Mike Quackenbush.
Oh, Mike Quackenbush.
Please tell me more.
Yeah.
We just talked about him on the show.
I've seen him a couple times since we've had this incident. This incident was a while ago, I guess, but it left a bad taste in my mouth for him. I've never had any sort of desire to work for him because of it. We were on a show in Ohio, actually ran by Sally Callahan, and we were involved in this 6-way something or another scramble, I guess, and we were talking about the match, and it was almost as if the way he was talking to me was very insulting of my intelligence. Mm-hmm. Like I described the move I wanted to hit him with, and his whole concern was, are you bumping on top of me or are you bumping next to me? And I'm like, I'm bumping next to you. What are you talking about? I'm going to take you from a body slam position. I'm going to tuck your head under and I'm going to sit down. You're going to be on the side of me and we'll take separate bumps and you'll be okay. But then I hear, from a couple people, hey, when you walked away, he said, make sure that you keep me out of the ring with that guy. He's very unsafe. And so, to me, I don't have much respect for people who can't say stuff to me directly. If you have an issue, if you have a concern, talk to me about it. Because then if we need to, we can change that spot or do whatever it is we need to do to make this better for both of us. Because I'm not in it to be a dick to anybody. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I realize, we're independent wrestlers. We probably got shoe jobs we got to go to on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have the match, and we go through the spots and all that stuff. Everything goes off without a hitch. I see him standing around afterwards, and so I walk up to him, and I shake his hand, and then I touch his rib, and I go, take a deep breath. And he takes a deep breath, and he looks at me like I'm crazy. I said, you breathing okay? Any sharp pains, anything like that?
You little pussy.
Oh, you're okay, like I thought you would be.
Of course.
And I turned around and walked away. And I mean, there's been no animosity, I guess, or anything since then. But that's just one of those stories that I guess, and it wasn't the first time I came across him, or first time I met him or whatever. But like it kind of stuck with me, and it made me not be a fan.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like,
Kongo Kong, everybody knows you're a safe wrestler. You've been around the country, dare I say, around the world. Everyone puts their fucking belts on you. Your reputation precedes you. I say Mike Quackenbush's narrow, skinny little ass is a little bit of a pussy. But going backpedaling a little bit, I would be remiss. I would get hate mail from our fans at the Ring Ratz
with a Z
podcast at gmail.com if I did not ask you, speaking of Brutus the Barber Beefcake, about the alleged sex rumors between Brutus Beefcake and Hulk Hogan. Kongo Kong, what do you think? Did they used to fuck? Do they still fuck?
That's a yes. That's a yes in Ring Ratz speak.
Well, the thing is, when you have a wrestler that travels around with you, he's considered your beefcake. So there could be very, very many underlying meanings, undertones to that. I tell you what, the man has like several poses of him and Hulk Hogan in order to sell it, I think. So, as far as them having sex, I don't know. I never even thought about that, and the thought of my mind, is kind of disgusting.
Kind of.
I've seen Hulk Hogan's sex tape. I can just transpose in my mind Brutus the Beefcake for the woman he was having sex with at the time. It makes total sense to me. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm going out on a limb to say Hulk Hogan did, in fact, have sex with Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
And his daughter.
I wouldn't even doubt it, man. Wouldn't even doubt it. I don't know. That's crazy.
I'd like to see it.
I mean, yeah, I know that Brutus Beefcake wouldn't exist without Hulk Hogan. So, so much so that, he has a term fashioned after him, getting, you're my beefcake, so you're going to ride to the show with me and get on because you're with me.
Well, the Beefcake, his whole life, it happened because of Hulk Hogan. And just like that, wrestlers, sometimes their persona, their attitude, and their look depends on the gear they make. You, in fact, make your own gear as well as other people's gear. Is that correct?
I do.
Now, what's the process? Because the idea of your 400-pound ass sewing things is hilarious, but also, like, awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it kind of happened because there's a lady that I was I went to church with her, and she was a seamstress or is a seamstress, whatever, and make my stuff. But somehow my singlets would never fit like they were supposed to. They're always too baggy.
Saggy,
and I think it was her thinking that she was saving me from exposing myself too much. Because at the time, I was legit 425 pounds.
Yeah.
And I guess it was her way of saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't put all that out there. But she doesn't understand pro wrestling.
She's just giving you advice.
Yeah.
Right. In this business, you
of course
got to put it all out.
Well, you look like a monster with the stuff you have.
Yeah. That happened because of a guy named Vito Tomaselli, who approached me and he says, hey, I would love to book you, but we want you to wrestle Trump. He's like, we think you look super imposing. Everybody knows you're a big guy, and there's no real reason for you to hide it. It's not like you know horribly, we think that, the more skin you show, the bigger you're going to look and the more imposing you're going to look. And so he was the reason I first tried it. And it actually, after that, what did I do? I was working in Kong's early days as a character called Shamari for Phil Monahan up here in Michigan for Championship International Wrestling. And I actually forgot my Shamari gear, and I was tagging with a guy by the name of Kamala Jr. that day. And so what I had was basically a pair of undertrunks that I used as a a girdle, man girdle, myrtle.
Got you.
Yeah, moo.
Story of my life.
Yeah. Try to hold some of that stuff in, keep moving around too much. And I had that, and he had an extra loincloth. So that was what I went out wearing that night. And once I realized how free I felt, because it wasn't a singlet, it wasn't a tank top with shorts or anything like that, then I was like, up, trunks from here on out.
Here we go.
And yeah, that's what I went with. And it was, it's been pleasant ever since.
I have to say, it's a good look. It works for you. It's incredible. Kongo Kong, where are you wrestling next? What's coming up?
Where can we see Kongo Kong wrestle?
Yeah, what's going on? Tell the fans.
Well, if you're in the Louisville area, I will be down there for a doubleheader Thursday and Friday night. Thursday night is IWA Mid-South, and it is versus the legend, Larry D. And on Friday, I will be challenging for the Pro Wrestling Freedom Heavyweight title against Chip Day. From there, I go to some outskirt in Illinois of the beautiful city of St. Louis for Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling, making my debut there. And then I zip from there to defend my ex-ICW proving ground, heavyweight strap against none other than Malcolm Monroe II, the Dirty Black Assassin, in Detroit.
Oh, shit. Awesome. So, Kongo Kong, where can we find you on social media? What are the plugs, Kongo?
Catch me on Twitter at Real Kongo Kong, or you can try to add me on Facebook. It probably won't work. You probably I guess just follow me because I'm at 5,000. I keep deleting people and adding people and deleting people and adding people. You know, I wish they would change the deal. I kind of like having friends as opposed to just having everybody being able to like me because I like being accessible.
I got you.
And let's see what else. I got Twitter, got Facebook. You see some stuff on Instagram. I really don't get on there all that often, but if you type in Kong or Osiris, that should pop up.
Kong, get in there. The kids love Instagram.
And what's the gear? If are you still making gear for other wrestlers? If so, do you have a way to contact you on that?
You need gear. You can either reach me, send me a message at Steve Wilson on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way. Or if you find my Kongo Kong page, or if you happen to locate Juggernaut Gear by Osiris.
Kongo Kong, you may know him as Osiris. You may know him as Kongo Kong. I know him as a goddamn gentleman. Kongo Kong, thank you so much for being on the Ring Ratz tonight.
Man, thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure.